Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Today what I'm going to do is go through how to retape a chanter. So if you take a look at your pipe chanter, we use tape to tune our holes, okay? And tape is used to lengthen the distance between the reed and the hole, and so thus it flattens our note. So every once in a while you want to check your tape on your chanter, because after a while it will get kind of gooey, and then it will start to slide around. This tape on this chanter isn't super old, but you can even see, like right there, that it's getting kind of gooey, and eventually it'll start sliding around, and it's really hard to keep that note in tune if it's sliding around. You also probably don't want to anger your pipe major if you play in a band. So again, it's always good to have really nice tape. Okay, so when we're doing this, what I would recommend actually is when you're changing a piece of tape, so that you are able to remember where that previous piece was, I would take what's called just like a little marker piece of tape. So a little marker. I would then put that little marker in line with the old piece of tape. So for example, here on my F, I'm going to put that marker right in line with it, and I'm going to be trying to be really precise. Okay, so I put that right in line. It's kind of hard to see, but there you go. So it's right in line with that old piece, and then what I can do is I'll take the old piece off, and you'll see the part of the hole that's uncovered is where the tape was lying. I will try and get rid of the stickiness. So, I just use cooking oil actually, but some pipers will use like bore oil, or, you could use Goo Gone, whatever you want. One tip I would say is don't use something that's super abrasive, like a nail polish remover. That would take the finish right off the chanter. Okay, so I would do that, and then when I grab my new piece of tape, I would then put it in line with that old piece of tape. Okay, so that's what I would do for changing a single piece, and I would do that for every single piece on my chanter. Today I'm going to show you more the type of taping I would do. So I have a fairly new chanter here. It's the RJM chanter brought to us by Roddy McLeod, and I believe it's manufactured by Nail Bagpipe. And so this is brand new, so I haven't got any tape on any of my holes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of tape above every single hole, and then that way if I need to flatten a note, it's right there ready for me. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I do that as well. If I just go back to the other chanter for a second, sometimes you'll get pieces of tape that only go, like, don't touch each other at the back. They kind of like go part of the way. And that's fairly common. Like, a lot of people do that. But the method I'm going to use is the method that I learned from Tyler Bridge. And the method that Tyler Bridge introduced us to is to have it go all the way around the chanter, and then the tape is on top of itself. That way it's less likely to slide. It also allows someone who's tuning your chanter the opportunity to move the tape and not worry about it coming off. If you look at this piece of tape here, it's quite short. It only goes to about there. It's hard to see, but there on this side. And on the other side, it only goes again to about the side of the chanter. So if someone was ever coming around to tune that hole, they would try and take that piece of tape up, and then as they start to move it, they might accidentally, it might accidentally just come off, and then it's a lot harder to kind of put it back in. So this size of tape, I would say, is way too small. So I'll show you the size I would put on my chanter. Okay, so I'm going to do one or two of these, and then I'll leave it there, and you get the gist. So let's take a look at our F hole, for example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape, and I'm going to actually start it over like right above that F hole, like this, okay? And you want to make sure it's not covering the hole, otherwise it's going to obviously have an impact on the tuning. So I'm going to start it there, and then I wrap the piece of tape all the way around the chanter, and then I come in front, okay? Just like that. So come in front like that. And that part would be what will actually cover the hole if I need to. And then I keep going past, and I'm going to try and end it almost to the other side over here. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to put a little tab on it so it's a little easier to pick it up and then make a small adjustment. So I'm going to grab my scissors and I'll cut off approximately there. I might have to adjust it, but I have some room now where I can make my little tab. And I'm going to try and make my tab fairly small. If you make it too big, then they'll be kind of flapping in the wind, and they can also kind of interfere with your fingers. So I'm going to make it a nice small tab, something like that. So I just turned it over on itself, and then I'll finish by ending the tape. So as you can see, there's my tab right there. And then if I were to actually wanting to tune this note, let's say I need to flatten it a little bit, I'd come over here, I'd grab that tab, okay, and then I would lift it up, and I could move the piece of tape down if I wanted to. Something like that. Okay, and like I said, the beauty of this is it prevents the tape from slipping because it's on top of itself. And when you're tuning that hole, the tape isn't going to like come off in your hand. So yeah, let me do one more for you, and then we'll leave it there. Okay, so here we go. I'll do my E hole now. And so again, I'm going to start above the hole, maybe even a little to the right of it. And then I'm going to go around the back of the chanter. And then I'm going to go take my tape around the front of it. And then back around to where I'll now trim it. So here I'm going to trim it. So I get my scissors. It's just kind of harder than it looks. Trim it. And then I put my tab again. Something like... Okay, like I said, I'm trying to make the tab fairly small. If it gets too big, I also find when it flaps in the wind, some of the tape will get some like little dirt and dust and stuff on it, and then it doesn't last as long. Okay, and then I'll just push it down. And there we go. So we have two pieces of tape now. We got that one there on my E hole and there on my F hole. All right. And like I said, I'm going to do that for every single hole on my chanter. Anyways, if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe to my videos. And thank you so much for listening.